So I went to the gym today, and I'm a very present in the moment kind of person. Like, I'm always very observant of what's going on around me and what I'm doing, and I'm always like thinking as well. But anyway, I noticed that basically everyone is always just on the phone. Like, no one can just go out without their phone. Like, I get the bus to the gym, right? And I get on the bus. I read on the bus. I know it's kind of sad to most people, but I don't care. It's quite relaxing. And everyone on the bus, like, I go at 5 in the morning, right? Which obviously people are going to be on the phone at that time because they've just woken up, whatever. But even when I go other times, the point is everyone's always on the phone. And I thought it was just my generation that was like this, but it's everyone now. I even saw like an 80-year-old woman, right? She's walking past me and she was like this, like her neck and back were like that. It was like, so how is she not like what is that? Like, it's crazy, bro. But no one is like just alive anymore. It's like all just brain dead. All just like addicted to a screen or listening to music. Now I have these in right now because it's just blocking out background noise. But I'm not even playing any music. No, I am playing some like Minecraft music. It's very quiet. But anyway, I don't always have these in. But what I'm saying is like every time people go outside, they're always like consuming something, always on the phone or listening to music, or they're never experiencing life. The only time they have their phone like not with them usually is like at work because they're not allowed to, and that's crazy. Like, no one's really like living anymore. They're living through their phone, and no one's like interacting with each other anymore. So I work at McDonald's like part time, right? And we're slowly getting rid of interacting with customers. And even when you do interact, it's like it's not even real because you have to read from a script. So it's not even like a natural conversation. I remember old days, or I don't remember, not me personally, but I know like back in the day, in like the 1980s or something, like you'd speak to people. Like you always hear stories from like your grandparents, right? And like you'd go to a shop and be people on a till, obviously. Like you won't go like my McDonald's, you order on a screen. Back in the day, you'd speak to a person, and people back then would speak to each other and actually talk. They'd make jokes, they'd talk about their kids or some other shit that didn't really matter. But the point is that they'd talk, they'd interact. You know, you'd get things like people would be friends with the neighbors. This is definitely on, right? It's definitely on. People would be friends with the neighbors. Like, I've never spoken to mine. What? No, not since I was like 7 or something. Like, I don't see people speaking to their neighbors anymore. Like, you had people. I remember my grandparents used to tell me that they could leave the doors unlocked and people would be just walking in and out of each other's houses, and there was a lot of community back then. But nowadays, everyone's just locked in this like little bubble they've created for themselves. My shoulders look nicer. Anyway, they're like they what am I saying? And nowadays, everyone's just like locked indoors. Just they live on Facebook. That's the only interaction they get with other people is on Facebook. It's not even real. No real interaction. It's just people like gossiping about shit. Like, but no one's present anymore. No one's present. No one interacts anymore, and it's scary. I think it's scary. It's one of the things I find scariest the most. But I don't see anyone talking about it, or especially young people. No one that seems to be aware of it because we've never experienced the other side where people interacted. People actually spoke to each other to the point where people my age don't even know how to start a conversation anymore. I know I definitely am lacking in that social skill. I can't speak to people like people could back in the day. I couldn't just go up to some random person and just start a conversation because it's scary because it's not a common thing to do anymore. That you even know that it would be scary for them too, whereas back in the day, like the 80s, like 40 years ago, it was just a normal thing that happened. I still go and when I go and see my grandparents, my granddad is that type of old person. I'll go on a walk with him, and every person he walks past, he'll just speak to them, and it's like, you're not supposed to do that. Who? That's weird, but it's not. That should be normal. That should be because like we're human, right? We have the desire to interact with other people, but we don't because we live through technology. And this is bad because we are losing what makes us people. A lot of people are scared of AI replacing them, right? But we are becoming like AI. We are becoming just automatic and robotic and just fake. We're not even real anymore. Nothing feels real anymore because we live in a false reality. We were never supposed to live this way. We were supposed to be outdoor people, like outgoing people. We're supposed to be open and adventurous and curious, but instead everyone's just scared now. Everyone's scared to be themselves. Everyone's scared to open up about things, and like you literally see people. Like, let's say you're walking down the street, right? Like let's say I'm going on a walk to the shop. This happens all the time, and you walk past someone. Like you make eye contact with them, and the first thing that they do is they go like this, right? They got the earphones in, and they look at you and they go. It's like they can't even like look at you normal anymore. They can't even just look at you. They have to pull out the phone or they pull out a vape, like and walk past you like that. It's like it's weird because people don't know what to do when you look at them. Like what happened? What happened to being able to just be like, all right, like even that's what I do that now. To be fair, kind of trying to practice. Eventually, I want to be able to just talk to anyone. But you got to start small, right? You got to like just like nod at someone or say you're all right, you're all right. Like that used to be terrifying for me. I used to be so antisocial. But anyway, boys are becoming so reactive, not like automatic, and our phones are training us to be this way. Just shaking my camera over. Because think about it, right? Everything you do on your phone is reactive. Like you get a notification, you open your phone, you respond to it. There's no intention behind it. You scroll on TikTok. There's no intention behind your scroll. You're not scrolling for a reason. You're scrolling because you're reacting to your boredom or whatever it is. You don't live intentionally anymore. You just live in reaction to everything around you and how you feel and how probably boring your life is. You probably feel empty most of the time. And it's easy to just go on your phone and forget about how you feel. It's easy to just play some game you don't actually care about because you don't really know what else to do. Because, well, in the modern day, it's not normal to do anything else. It's normal to do these things, so that's what you do. But I don't want to be normal, not in this world, because normal is wrong. The normal way of living isn't right. It's not healthy. Let me read my notes of what I actually planned to say in this video. Oh yeah, that's it. So the main message of this video, like the action step of what to do in spite of this information is, hold on, it's a burp. You need to take back control of your life. Like there's this thing you can do called a dopamine detox, where you basically just cut out your phone or cut out everything on your phone that triggers your dopamine receptors in your brain, which I don't know what I'm doing, which is basically like dopamine is just motivation, right? TikTok releases dopamine, but things that release dopamine, what it does is it makes you want to do them more. But there's two sources of dopamine. There's cheap dopamine and healthy dopamine. And the cheap sources are like TikTok, unhealthy food, hookups, things that just require no effort but make you feel good in the moment. Other things make you feel good fast, but long term make you feel worse. So you got to do the opposite things, like go to the gym, like read. I started reading a lot more now, and it's boring at first because you're so used to instant dopamine and gratification. But once you cut out the sort of, I didn't explain what a dopamine detox was. You basically just cut it all out. You cut out the junk food, you cut out the phone usage unless it's important, like calls, texts, right? You delete all social media basically. You stop eating junk food, you stop engaging in lust, you stop, I'm trying to think what else, playing games, right? I've not played a video game now in a few days, and people like that one always gets people and like, what's wrong with playing games? And they're not inherently bad really. It's just what they stop you from doing that's bad. And them themselves is not bad, but when you combine them with scrolling, like most people live their lives like they scroll, they play games, eat shit, and they try and sleep with anyone they can. Or at least guys do it. Anyway, once you do that, once you cut out all those things, you will feel bored as hell. You'll feel bored as hell. And this is where you got to introduce the good habits, which release healthy dopamine. Like I said, going to the gym, exercising, eating healthy, reading, listening to podcasts that aren't like overly edited and stimulating, meditating. That's something I've started doing as well. And that's very good for your brain. Writing. And going for walks in like nature. That's like one of the best things you can do as a human. That's what we're meant to be doing. Because we're meant to be going out all the time. But anyway, once you do all that, you'll feel worse to start with. For like the first week you do this, or after the first few days, you'll feel worse. But then you'll feel, after that, you'll feel the best you've ever felt, ever. I guarantee you that's what happens, because that's what happened to me. It's what happens to everyone who's tried doing this. And you'll see how weird everyone is. You'll see how weird the modern world is when you do this, because you won't feel the urge to go on your phone like everyone else does. You won't feel the urge to just like constantly be stimulated by listening to music or doing something that just distracts your brain. Now, if you don't do this, you'll end up losing more and more of yourself, because like algorithms and social media and everything on your phone and everything that's like instantly gratifying is becoming more and more advanced. Like these big tech companies are designing the apps so that, to the point where you never want to stop using them. You never want to put your phone down. You never want to go outside and experience real life, because these things are more interesting than life, or it feels like it, when you're trapped in the loop of consumption. But like they constantly feed you what you internally desire. Like I said at the start of the video, right, that you desire like adventure and exploration and love and all these kinds of things. But these apps fulfill that desire temporarily and quickly. So when you feel like the desire for like love, right, you can just go on your phone and swipe on some dating apps and speak to some random people you don't even care about, and that'll fulfill that desire for like a day, and then it'll come back and you'll do it again. Whereas instead you should actually just go out, find a person to connect with, and properly fulfill that desire. But that is harder than sitting on your phone, subscribing to people on OnlyFans or some weird shit, which is how things are moving. And it's going to be harder to escape this if you don't act now, if you don't cut this shit out before it gets more advanced. Like, it's advancing to the point where AI is like studying you, and it's going to know you better than you know yourself, and it's going to feed you exactly what you want to experience in your life just on your phone screen, but in a toxic way, in a way that's not real. and you're going to lose more and more of yourself. So I don't have anything else to say. It's going to be harder to escape it if you don't act now. So that's everything for this video. I will see you in the next one. I don't think I have anything else to say. No. No. Oh yeah, there is another side of life. Once you get out of this trap, it's so much more fulfilling. I'm experiencing it right now. Like, my days are so much more relaxed, and I feel like I'm actually living rather than just miserable all the time.